Sci-fi used to be cheesy, something for kids. You had your rubber monsters, you had your ray guns, kid stuff. It's not just for nerds anymore. 2001 made space travel feel more attainable, more real. Aliens made sci-fi scary. E.T. made us cry. Not me, I didn't cry. And Star Wars made sci-fi profitable. Soon, every studio was eager to bring sci-fi to the mainstream. Even Disney was no stranger. But The Cat from Outer Space didn't exactly set the screen on fire. Aw, who's a good boy? But that didn't stop them from trying again, and again, and again. But finally, they just bought Star Wars. Circle of Life. In 1979, Disney brought us The Black Hole. Then we opened to what at the time was the longest computer animation on film. This was cutting edge at the time. And now we just expect Homer Simpson to pop in. And I do love John Barry's theme here. It's haunting, it sets the mood. Tidy Bowl Man, stay on target!
21:30, day 547. Unscheduled course correction due at 2200. Pre-correction check. Rotation axis plus 3 degrees. Nitrous oxide pressure 4100, rising to 5000. Quad jet C and D on pre-select. Rotor ignition sequence beginning in 3-0. Thruster line reactors on standby.
Meet the crew of the spaceship Palomino. Anthony Perkins is Dr. Durant, Robert Forrester as Captain Holland, Joseph Bottoms as Lieutenant Pizer, Yvette Mimieux as Dr. Kate McRae, and Ernest Borgnine as Harry Booth. And you can't have a post-Star Wars movie without a cute robot. This is Vincent, voiced by Roddy McDowall. He also looks like the robot version of Eric Cartman. Right away, they encounter the titular black hole. That's not really a sentence I'm comfortable saying out loud. They encounter the black hole. That's better. They also find a long-lost spaceship, the Cygnus, which is somehow not being sucked into the black hole. Another awkward sentence. It appears to be a ghost ship.
They were recalled to Earth 20 years ago, their mission considered a failure.
If you see this guy, leave.
Dan, get us in close enough.
Get closer? You guys are already surprised the ship isn't being sucked down like an oyster on a carnival cruise. I guess they figure that makes them safe? Actually, it does. The Cygnus seems to be in a cocoon of zero gravity. Maverick requesting flyby. I do like how this conveys the scale. The Cygnus is supposed to be huge, and it also makes me think of a haunted house, just barely visible but enough to be spooky. But they go too far, and gravity is once again making them its bitch. This leads them to having some mechanical issues.
We've got a break here too!
You better hurry up, your ship is leaking steam. You're gonna get all pruny. And bless them for their attempts to convey weightlessness in space with a combination of wire work, a free-floating camera, and rotating sets. The effect doesn't always sell, especially when the wires are plainly visible, but the level of effort is still commendable. Look, I'm in space too! Vincent goes outside to fix things. Boy, he's got some balls on him.
Come in, Vincent!
Either we have a malfunction here or there's too much interference on the outside. See if you can get through to Vincent with your ESP.
Oh, and Kate has ESP, which she can use to contact Vincent. This is later revealed to be a feature of these robots. Interesting concept, and it does come in handy, but it's also sort of a crutch.
I got through to Vincent. He said there are old pilots and there are bold pilots, but there are very few old, bold pilots.
Shut up, Vincent. Hello would have been fine. Vincent repairs a ship, but the cheap rope breaks and he falls towards the black hole. Don't worry, he's got more gadgets than Data from the Goonies. But suddenly the Cygnus comes to life. Either it's got motion sensors or someone clapped really hard.
There are people, Alex. I know it. I feel it.
Damaged and not having any options, the Palomino docks with a mysterious vessel.
Are you all right, Vincent?
Nothing a hammer and a little metal polish can't fix, thank you.
Coming from a robot, there's something really kinky about that sentence. They're invited on board. At least only the adults are invited. What was that? That is why you're never invited anywhere. They seem friendly. Told you they were coming for our guns.
Vincent! Vincent!
Is Vincent a coke mule? Did he break a few balloons?
Are you sure you're all right?
I'm dying, bitch! Help! Someone or something is guiding our heroes. I hope you like pipes, cables, and the color beige. You're gonna see a lot of it. This is a haunted house. Things moving by themselves, and people are like, well, let's spend the night. Something sinister is coming. I can feel it. Hi, we're like stormtroopers, but we hold our guns sideways like badasses. Oh. Might be dangerous. Ladies first. Action point. In space.
Are we there yet?
No.
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 Are we there yet?
No!
Are we there yet? No! I think we're there.
Woohoo!
If we move the camera, we can infer there's a working elevator in there. The end of the trail leads to the control tower, seemingly populated by robots, including this ray of sunshine, Maximilian. When I first heard of this movie and saw pictures of this guy, I was stoked. This is a badass robot. Max is awesome. That is until he moved, and you realize just how little movement he's capable of. Sort of killed the menace when you see him float around like a mannequin on wires. And he's armed with the latest in kitchen technology. He's like a pissed off Swiss Army knife. Meet Dr. Hans Reinhardt, played by Maximilian Schell, sole survivor on board. Sole human survivor, that is. These are robots. Really, robots. Maximilian. That did lead to some slight confusion when I was a kid. Reinhardt's a bit of a loony, too. After the ship was damaged and the rest of the crew abandoned ship, he's been here alone for 20 years, studying the black hole with his robot crew. Wait a minute. He's alone on a spaceship with robots. Maybe he's so crazy because someone keeps sending him bad movies. Not entirely alone if he programmed a few of the robots the right way.
You should be ashamed.
Reinhardt intends to fly his ship into the black hole. He's been studying it and thinks he's got a shot with his special magic gravity nullifying force field, patent pending. Durant's man crush is showing and he believes Reinhardt is a genius. Everyone else is obviously skeptical. They of course are welcomed as guests, but Holland just wants to fix the ship and leave. So, where's the shitter? Another robot, Old Bob, voiced by Slim Pickens, is an older and extremely beat-up relative of Vincent. Not even once.
I see by your markings you're from the old 2-8, programmed in Houston.
Looks like an abusive relationship to me.
You will be remembered as one of the greatest space scientists of all time. I'm on the brink of a great achievement. All this is just the beginning. The beginning?
I thought those were windows. Turns out Harry was just hiding backstage. Oh boy, you gonna get me some fizzy lifting drinks? Holland stumbles on what looks like a robot funeral. Wait, robots don't have funerals? I wonder what that means. Oh, hi, Max. Don't be telling anyone. Why do people fear me? Booth sees a robot with a limp, or maybe it's just swagger.
You've defied the power of the black hole with your anti-gravity calculations. A stunning achievement, sir.
I think Dr. Durant has not yet found his true direction, right?
Mother tells me I'm special. I don't know who he's hitting on anymore. The crew has dinner while Vincent gets a play date.
Who's the flashy black hat?
Darth who?
The only Earth people to know of my existence.
And your magnificent accomplishments.
I will travel where no man has dared to go.
I think Gene Roddenberry gonna sue somebody.
Meet me in part storage.
It's not what you think, Vincent. Bob eventually spills the beans. Let me guess. Robots are old crew?
These poor creatures are what's left of the crew.
Called it.
Let's get out of here before we're discovered.
Oh shit, we're discovered.
Do you mean to tell me that there's actually a human body under that clothing?
Vincent fills Kate in via ESP, thus avoiding the radio and letting Reinhardt know they're onto him, for about a minute. This also kills Durant's man crush when he pries his lips off Reinhardt's ass long enough to see for himself. Hey, I needed that to breathe. Seize them! The KitchenAid 5000 springs into action very slowly. Ha! See how you like it. At least he didn't hit him with a shovel.
You shouldn't have done that. He was a good man.
Yeah, good at being dead. Thank you and good night. I'll be here all week, folks, and don't forget to tip your waitresses.
Bring us about.
Time to get down with the Cygnus. Okay, that was bad.
That madman is headed straight for the black hole.
Kate is taken to be zombified like the rest of the crew, but our heroes bust in and save the day. I love you, baked potato. Oh, yay, another bridge. Our heroes are pinned down by some heavily armed old Navy mannequins, and I was probably enthralled by this as a kid, but it just doesn't hold up for me now. Maybe I'm just an old monster. What the hell am I watching here?
Your crack unit outwitted and outfought by some Earth robot.
I could have had a V8!
We cannot endanger the Cygnus.
Why are you whispering? We're zombies. You're lucky we can even hear you. We're going in. Insert the your mom joke of your choice. While Pizer rescues Kate and the others, Harry stays behind to mind the ship. And by mind the ship, I mean he hijacks it and makes a break for it. Stringfellow Hawk would not approve, but he doesn't get far.
Blow it apart before it hits us! Fire!
Remember his instructions. You had one job. Well, that happened. Lunch? Look out! Cheetos! Careful, they're flaming hot. The remaining Palomino crew heads for another means of escape, a probe ship established earlier. This 4D ride should get them there. Do a barrel roll! The bridge is out! And now a scene that gives Indiana Jones nightmares. Turns out the crash broke their gravitational protection, so the Cygnus is doomed.
Prepare the probe ship.
Don't hurry or anything, it's not like the ship is falling apart around us. Ironic that he's done in by gravity.
Help me!
Why didn't I put ears on Max? Can't hear you dying, sorry. Waka chicka wow wow, waka chicka wow wow.
Vincent!
Hi, remember me? Poor Bob. Time to mix it up. Vincent takes one for the team. Did he just punch him with his dick? Oh yeah! Sorry, this fight reminds me of the fight scenes from Team America. Just don't get your wires tangled and you'll be fine. Max gives Vincent a high voltage hug, which I can't tell if he hates it or if he's really enjoying it.
Sweet.
Vincent has another trick up his, sleeve. Why was I programmed to feel pain? Saw this coming. Old Bob is done for. You know, for a couple of robots, this is actually a pretty touching scene. It's probably one of the more emotional scenes in this entire movie. And I love that little glance back. It's a small touch, but it's effective. They make it to the probe ship, but it turns out the course is locked in on Reinhardt's original plan. Like it or not, they're going into the black hole. Now this part gets a little drug trippy. The crew is subjected to random lines of dialogue to go with their vomiting. Now scream like a pussy. You know, not every sci-fi movie has to end like 2001. Hey, he's looking just fine. Okay, he reminds me of Kevin McDonald when he grew a beard. Hi, remember me, boss? What's happening? No, really, what's happening? Hey, it's Maximilian Schell and a Maximilian Schell. Pausing for laughter. This is interesting considering this early line.
Every time I see one of those things, I expect to spot some guy in red with horns and a pitchfork.
I suppose this can be a metaphor, or just visualizing that nobody made it through the black hole alive. Reinhold died and went to hell, while the others went to heaven. Or what we think of as heaven and hell are actually other dimensions, and the black hole is a gateway. Or maybe the filmmakers threw in a bunch of random artsy imagery and wants us to draw our own conclusions. Wherever they land, I hope there's food. And that was Disney's The Black Hole. The variation on the haunted house, evil mad scientist trope, the sci-fi theme mixes things up, but the final product falls a bit flat. It tries to be grand and epic, but the sets, even when extended with matte paintings, feels claustrophobic and cramped. And why is this ship so roomy? It starts off like a horror movie, but by the third act, it plays like a disaster film. Look, it's even got Ernest Borgnine. It's got a pretty decent cast. So why are the leads so bland? Kate's defining characteristics are a dead dad and ESP. Was there a romance here? We hadn't seen any sign of it before. I've seen more chemistry between Donnie and Marie. At least Harry Booth showed some human selfishness. Durant's readiness to kiss Reinhardt's ass is mystifying when he knows that a boy's best friend is his mother. Reinhardt is part Frankenstein, part Ahab. His obsession is a little one-dimensional, and his motives are murky. What exactly is the great truth he's looking for? Life after death? Heaven and hell? If so, I say he confirmed it. Maximilian Schell turns in a manic performance, but it's cheesy and melodramatic, and it works. Max is interesting. He's completely silent, but he's got this mystique about him. His motions are obviously a technical limitation, but the puppeteers still manage to eke a character out of this guy. He's a brute, and he'll cut you. The effects were ambitious. Extensive use of matte paintings, optical compositing, and model work. The Cygnus is an especially gorgeous model. It's got a familiar yet unique style. It feels more like a Gothic cathedral than a spacecraft. It's a pity the interiors were so dull. A lot of effort was put into these effects, but unfortunately they just don't hold up. The story starts off intriguing, sort of like a haunted house in space. The ship does have a spooky feel and you're wondering what's around every corner, but the reveal is a letdown. The mystery of the crew is solved really quickly. It's pretty dark for a Disney film, yet the tone conflicts with the kid-friendly toy-selling elements. The filmmakers take their time establishing mood and environment. They let you soak things in, but when things get talky, they kind of bog down. And the action scenes are pretty silly at times. The sentry robots are like something out of a shooting gallery. I'm giving The Black Hole 2.5 Bs. It enthralled me as a kid, but as an adult, I have trouble looking past the flaws. But there's still some things going for it. Vincent is a cute, sellable toy, and I'd love one of these on my shelf. It still has a fun, cheesy feel to it. I still catch it on TV when it comes on. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, the typical YouTube stuff. This is theNewBee, and I'll see you later, kids. Toodles!